Hi everybody, my name's Mike and welcome to my channel. As you can see by the title, this video is on how I built my 1100 gallon plywood aquarium. This is not a how-to video, this is simply showing how I built mine and offering suggestions if you ever wanted to build something similar, how you could improve on this process. Please bear with me with the editing. If there is anything additional that I didn't touch on enough, or if I left anything out, please feel free to message me anytime. I'll try to answer any questions. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get right to it.
Okay, so chose this corner. I had a little bit over 10 feet and I wanted to be able to get around all of the sides of the tank. So from that lolly column to the left wall, I had more than 10 feet, so the tank is 10 feet long, 6 feet wide basically. These walls are framed with 2x4s. I framed it 16-inch on center. I'd recommend though doing even 12-inch on center instead, and you could even do this framing with 2x6s if you wanted to make this a little bit stronger. I would definitely recommend doing that. Although this works, it can't hurt. So I stood it up on the back wall so I could then screw in the floorboards. Floorboards are 2x10s.
So not only did I screw the floor from the bottom up into the walls, but I also screwed down from the walls into the floor.
So now we start plywooding the inside. 3/4 inch plywood sheets. Plywood is finished, and filling all the screw holes with a PVC filler. Tried to make sure to set those screws down far enough that none of them were sticking up. All filled and sanded. Capped this with 2x10s along the top for a Euro bracing, and that is one layer of Herco primer. Herco rubberized pond coating primer. This is the first coat of Herco rubberized pond coating with fiberglass in all the seams. That's fiberglass strips down all the seams. And that's after the first coat. I coated up underneath that Euro bracing as well. Painted with a decking paint that whole cap, that dark bluish gray you see. I also ended up painting the whole outside of the tank with the same color. Now this is going to go into me doing a full coat. I believe it's the 4th coat now. So you'll see the tank cap is painted that dark bluish gray, and that's just a decking paint. It was a cheap decking paint too, I bought at Lowe's. And like I said, I painted the whole outside of the tank with that as well. If you have some patience, and I wish I had some patience, I would have painted all that framing and even the back sides of all of the plywood with that decking paint before I built this tank. Because none of that's pressure treated wood and it's really not protected like it should be. So if I could go back, I would paint all that framing, all those pieces of wood before I put it all together. I think it would have really been beneficial just in case I ever get a leak, anything happens, the tank doesn't end up being destroyed from the inside out. But can't go back, so I did paint the outside, which you'll see eventually. So here we are, we're at the 4th coat of Herco rubberized pond coating. I'm not sponsored by them, I should be after this. They are a very expensive epoxy. I used it because it allows for expansion. Something like Pond Armor won't have the same amount of elasticity. So that's why I went with this, but this whole build could have been done with Pond Armor. A lot of people have had great success with it, and you'd probably save money if you used Pond Armor as well, because Herco rubberized pond coating was very expensive. Very expensive, and I did 9 total coats of it, so that really did cost me a fortune. The original epoxy that I wanted to use was called Interseal 670HS. but I wasn't able to get my hands on it at the time. There's a few others that you can use, I've since learned about. Sherwin-Williams makes one, Benjamin Moore makes one, believe it or not. And most marine grade epoxies would be safe to use. So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting out before I roll the walls. Very, very thick layers. I'm trying to keep it from making any bubbles or drips, but at the same time I want very thick coats. It's an easy epoxy to work with. It's not a two-part, it's pre-mixed, you just paint with it. But it does leave little tiny air bubbles when you roll, so you have to be careful of that, and you can drip and run, and it's not a self-leveling epoxy, so as much as you want to go thick like I'm going, you're not gonna get a nice smooth surface out of it, so keep that in mind. But you see, it's not like a smooth glassy surface, but it's very, very thick. That's the key, that's all I wanted. And trying to bury the fiberglass so you can't see the fiberglass. So there you go, that gives you an idea of the recessed wall in the front too. And there's all the outside of the tank has been painted. I believe this was my final coat before we move on to putting the glass in. So that's still drying. This is the sump tank. It was a free 180 gallon, approximately, it's a little bit more, 180 gallon fiberglass tank. This is the base for the overhead sump, the 180. I basically made it out of scraps that I had. So I didn't have a full sheet 3x4, but save money when you can. Framed with 2x4s, pretty simple. So again, the tank was free, that's why I used it to save some money. So I painted it to make it match the tank, basically. I even epoxied the inside to make it match the main tank. Not the ideal sump tank, but it works. There's the glass, it's 3/4 inch thick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi, guys. You guys ready for this? It's gonna be terrible.
Cut on the side,
You
work
guys
our way to the
start at
top.
the bottom of the side, work your way to the top. I have 2 extra ones cut that I'll keep up here in case we need to refill. Ready? Yeah, let's come this way.
You have to go that way.
Actually, you should be good.
Push it in a little bit.
Shit, it's gotta go to a Dave. You don't want to run. Before you go. Okay. Push. Okay. Shit. Hold there as long as you can.
Are you in?
Yeah, I see bubbles. That's okay. It's just a gasket. Oh shit, there's a lot of excess. I don't want it to silicone for this.
Alright, wipe it.
Yeah.
That's good shape. Don't worry about the top.
No, this isn't, there's nothing inside here.
The bottom.
The bottom is pretty bad. Oh, man. I didn't think about that ahead of time. Alright. Throw that in here. These short ones.
Make sure you don't cause the pressure all the way out. Especially the bottom.
Yeah, you gotta put
The
it
last
in
thing you
first
want
and
is for it
then-
to be kicking out of the water any little bit. Should have actually silicone the bottom edge of the glass too.
No, well, that's why we put it so thick and we got it closed first.
Let's scrape it down. Then.
Alright.
Get a little places in there.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Stuffing up the tank already.
That would be Drew.
Me and Sid.
You already admitted it. I know I did.
I don't think I told you about this one, Mikey.
I'm fucking sorry. Your tank's dirty.
Crap, take it down.
The box sucks. I don't have any truck anymore. I'm so mad at you for that. Oh no, so get them.
Yeah, right.
Just
Piece
like
of
that,
shit.
the truck's not doing it.
Exactly what I thought.
What happened? Rained out.
It snowed.
Oh yeah, it snowed.
If it rained, that would have sucked too, but not quite as bad.
You could have been out there with an umbrella.
Yeah, could have squeegeed the truck off. Look at this kid.
Oh, fucking Spider-Man over
Fucking
here.
gymnastics over here, guy.
No, you just gotta tow it. That's all. Just tow
Make
it.
sure the bottom one's putting pressure on. This one's putting tons of pressure.
You can see that
Yeah.
one's solid.
Yeah.
I think we're good there.
And now
What
the
you
other
want?
side.
You want something I feel like you have something in the middle. You need something in the middle too.
100%
fill
more.
Oh, you're saying put one in the middle?
Yes.
Right here.
Dude, you think this is Boeing?
No.
No, it's not Boeing. That
No,
piece of
but-
glass? That glass ain't Boeing.
Oh, you feel like there has to be something there.
I do too.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, in theory it doesn't, but
theory,
in a
that-
perfect world.
You think that, but the thing is like there's no way that this glass is Boeing.
Yeah, but this thing might.
Which is the thing.
The tank might be going. If you put a little bit more pressure on the glass.
Well, Mikey, how is it closing the gap? Well, we can't even tell now.
You can't really tell. You can keep going though. Definitely keep going. That's working good. That's working well. Oh yeah, dude. You just squeeze the gap right away.
All the way down.
Yep, the whole way can pop
No,
right up.
you want to do the bottom first. I told you, you gotta toe it in. Every time you whack it, it fucking pops up.
I mean, this thing's sick.
I know.
Wow.
Holy shit. What's wrong? Where's the paint bracket? Yep. Whack that down. No, you're not going to hold that. This one's over.
I think we're good.
No, the top's not. There's no pressure on the top. Like
You
I
want to
said.
screw it in?
Yeah, put a screw through the side into the side or whatever. Hit it from the edge and then whack them again. That way they're just not popping up, and that's all it's doing, just to hold it. You're already doing it. How am I doing it, man? You can already see it. You're fucked up on the way.
I would just screw right down into it, no?
Fucking put silicone in there and screw it shut, Ted.
Why did you have them drill holes in it?
Yeah, jackass.
What did I not do?
Everything.
If you had them drill holes in the glass, I mean, this was in.
Fucking carrying it.
Get all these.
No, what we're doing.
Well, now we're not.
Oh, obviously there's no holes. Sheesh.
Oh yeah, silicone that man.
Yeah, how's it look out there?
Silicone.
Squeezy.
Okay, whack that fucker, Dave. Oh, yeah. Whack it hard. Ah, bouncing.
You went to school for this, David?
This is why. Yeah, I work at a warehouse now.
Yeah. There's a reason for that. Do you have another hammer? Because that one I can't reach.
About wraps up the glass install. Left the bracing on it for about 5 days before taking that off. Then I got the 4x4 stainless steel beam for cross beam for the overhead sump and mounted that and started doing a little bit more finishing touches. Painted that, the beam to match, and did some finish work around the base of the overhead sump as well. Now I started staining the outside and then did the trim around the window, the floor, and the corners, and then decided to paint the inside of the windowsill to match. And that's pretty much it finished, and we filled it up. No leaks, first try. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that this video was informative. I know that there are a lot of things I could have improved on along the way, but I am happy with how this came out. It still has not leaked. It's been running for a few months now, and we have fish in it. You can see some of my other videos of it already stocked. I also plan on doing a separate video just for filtration and plumbing to give you guys an idea of how that works. But for now, this is going to be it for this video. I thank you guys for watching, and again, I hope that this was informative.